Hello, everybody, and welcome to San Antonio by Nights. The last we left off, the coterie of Urian and Benji and their newfound acquaintance Amber were doing some feeding around the city, kind of getting the lay of the land as far as the nightlife of the sanctuary domain, as well as running a few errands for themselves. Benji and Urian had uh, had made it a point that they wanted to get some leverage and information from Carlos, and one of the best ways to do so was to go and check out his home. Upon arriving, however, they didn't find a whole lot in the way of valuables to take with them as far as information, but they did find a little girl. They assume Carlos's daughter. And so, making their way back through the city in the van, they sit quietly for a while as they drive back to the coterie house to figure out what it is that they're going to do next. But I'm curious as to the thoughts from our individual kindred. Amber, the newest member of the cast of this particular story, you've kind of come to the sanctuary to learn a little bit about its inhabitants. What's on your mind as you're driving this child to their father?
Oh, there are so many things that I could talk about. So many things. Why don't we start with the easier of the two to talk about? Benji, Mr. Cortez. He seems like a likable enough guy. Quite headstrong, very self-assured, very new. I can see the naivety on his sleeve, and it's with a mixture of that and his the bit of pride that I've seen from him. It's not going to be long than that. It's not going to be long before that pride of his gets more than his feelings hurt. I'd rather that not happen, but things do occur from time to time. Now, Mr. Doyle, Urian, on the other hand, Mr. Doyle is an interesting character, one that I think I've taken a little bit of a shine to.
Hmm.
I'm not one for his particular philosophical train of thought, but I can see the appeal, and I can see how it would be useful, pragmatically speaking. And I think that I was right to come and find him, as I think there is a lot that he would be able to teach me. He seems to have a lot of knowledge and intuition far beyond his years, and I think that that will be something that's going to be very useful to me. And in return, maybe I can be useful right back.
You certainly find yourself in a world where equivalent exchange of usefulness is in high demand. Mr. Doyle, you've been introduced to a new woman, beautiful,
The
slightly.
Lady Dupree.
Mm. What do you make of her?
I have not made an assessment yet. The first thing that ends up coming to mind is that Benji seems to have developed a little bit of competition. I'm more concerned with his results. To the Lady Dupree, I am curious. How tonight goes dictates a lot. I know her of the Rose, but that is about it. From every other point, I have had children come to me to assess, to help break in, to get them to understand where their place is in all this. I teach them of a domain, a place where they can feed. Introduce them to faces they need to know, how to behave in front of others, and trying to end up getting a better handle on things. So it does not surprise me to run into Amber. What surprises me is her initiative. More often than not, a childer is brought to me. This is the first childer I've run into who has sought me out. Perhaps my reputation is growing. But I have my own, well, shall we say, paranoia. I will assess, see her usefulness, and what else she may offer. But more importantly, I need to know what sort of predator she is.
Perhaps the most important question of all. And so we begin with our three individuals and a child strolling with the van into the parking lot of the coterie haven. The the child is walked into the house by Benji and directed to a room so that they may be out of earshot, simply to await and see what it is that they could do to leverage Carlos. But that leaves Urian and Amber in the front room. Amber, you come into this house and you see in the front room that there is a couch and coffee table and a TV, something pretty standard to a home. And just off of that is the kitchen and a dining room table. There's a hallway that Benji leads the child through to go to a separate room. In the kitchen, there is a door that you assume leads to a basement. But in the upstairs loft, you see that there are bookshelves, sparse, but filling. And this is the scene you see. Kind of plain looking, but nothing terrible.
Well, I mean, beauty is one part form, one part function.
Urian is making sure the van is locked up. He opens the door for the Kindred, and while Benji gets himself situated with his new plaything, Urian closed the door behind Amber, welcoming her in. He goes to the kitchen table and pulls out a seat for her, gesturing for her to take a seat, and smiling, as a good host does.
She will smile back and thank him with a nod and sit herself down,
He's
pressing her.
He slides the chair into the table appropriately and walks to the other side. Taking a seat, his position is a bit more relaxed. He drops the heavy book bag he has at the side of his chair, and he kind of places a single elbow on the table, his hand in his chin, stroking that small soul patch under his lip, looking over her.
She seems to conduct herself in a relatively lax manner. And she looks at you and it's like, "You must have questions for me, Mr. Doyle."
Of course. But I think, as the guest, it would be more appropriate for me to answer. So, by all means, Lady Dupree, you've taken so much initiative so far. Why stop now?
I suppose in that you have a point, Mr. Doyle. Now, I just helped you kidnap a child. I would assume that you've done this for leverage's sake. My question to you is leverage on what?
That? That is a project of Benji's. A lesson to be learned. A whole myriad of problems has recently arrived. But before I go into that, Lady Dupree, I am curious. You are not of Delgado's domain, are you?
Not particularly, no.
Then I have to apologize, but this is a small matter involving that domain as of right now. And without me knowing your loyalties, surely you can understand that there's only so much I can share in that particular pursuit, the larger picture, as it were. Suffice it to say, there is a Kindred who has been less than cooperative, and I am left with a decision. Benji would have him come to understand the nature of what he is and his newfound place. I personally would just see him to the dawn and call it an evening, but Benji has a soft spot for this one. So, I wish to give him an opportunity to learn, and to press his will upon the world, and see what it makes for him.
I see.
So, now that I've answered one of your questions to the best of my ability, you earlier said that you require tutelage and you sought me out.
I do.
Tutelage for what? And to what end?
This is going to sound a little strange, but to be my own being, as it were.
Are you not?
I like to think of myself as I am, but if I am being honest, I am a... A songbird stuck in a cage, forced to sing on cue.
Aren't we all?
Yes, but I mean in a more literal
Literal sense.
sense. Yes.
To whom do you sing, Lady Dupree?
Against my own will, anyone who my sire says I sing to.
And your sire is?
His name is Ashley Sanderson.
Sanderson.
He's the right, pardon my French, but he's the right bastard of an individual.
Your opinions are your own. You're welcome to have them. I do not expect people to enjoy my company. Still,
I mean, I find it interesting because even though we've spent such little time together, Mr. Doyle, I do quite enjoy your company.
that may change in time. But for now, let us appreciate the naivete.
Hmm.
It's something that is rarely appreciated. Everybody thinks it needs to be cast off immediately. So long as it is harmless. Rarely it is, but on occasion it can be enjoyed. Still, you came here to be your own.
Yes.
You are still in contact with your sire, then?
Only because I must be.
You must be. He raises a brow. Go on.
It is a tenuous relationship as I am quite known around the circles of the Rose here in San Antonio. And for me to cut myself off from him, it would proceed to out me as a pariah to every single one of them.
You are an anarch, are you not?
I consider myself to be.
And what is it to be anarch?
Well, it is to be a pariah, to be, from what I have heard, cast out from the tower, or not wanting a place inside the tower. But I mean a pariah in a more localized sense.
Mm.
A pariah that begins to inflict detriments onto my quality of life.
Ah, so it is your quality of existence that concerns you.
It is somewhat. I think it would be suffice to say that if you were in a position such as mine, that you would like to be free to make your own decisions as you see fit, to do as you see fit, when you see fit.
That is amusing. In fact, I think you will be quite quite stricken with the lesson plan I have. You see, we all are our own caged birds. A songbird is more likely to be screaming because we all carried a very similar affliction. The beast inside. That is the curse. And we are all slaves to the blood in one fashion or another. It was no different here than it is in the tower in that regard.
Of course. The blood is a different matter altogether. The
No.
blood is something that will never go away, which is why.
You intend to kill your sire then? Or do you simply want to make war on every rose in the domain?
Quite frankly, making him disappear would be an interesting prospect. One that I would not be closed to, so long as it gets me the freedom, at the very least, from him and his possessive nature.
And yet, because I am the devil's advocate, what makes you think you are in any position to end up having such freedoms? I have a child there, downstairs in fact, who if I were to unchain right now, say, go, be free, would be a masquerade breach, a violation of the one rule that binds us all together. He would go about and potentially leave 10, 20 bodies. He would call up old comrades trying to end up seeking out a point of revenge. And in that petty squabble, he will make so much noise as to require a more show of force. And then we would be forced to silence. And then we would all have to go to ground. Those who hunt us are ever closer than we realize. And so we have to be very careful how we apply ourselves.
Well, if I'm to be honest with you, Mr. Doyle, as of right now, I'm not in that position. But the operator is that I would like to be in that position.
And what do you offer? If I were to take up this, a new student, to what benefit is it to our dearest Baron Delgado?
Well,
Who, I might also add, shares a clan with you.
Well, if we're talking about what it is that I could offer you, Mr. Doyle.
I am a humble servant to the domain.
Well, to the domain, I offer my resources, my expertise, the influence that I wield in the social sphere. I'm sure that you could tell when we went out to the nightclub how every single person's eyes were drawn to myself.
I have not stopped looking, have I?
Exactly right.
So, with that in mind, those are great benefits. But what you ask, I am sorry to tell you, Lady Dupree, is impossible. Not for the reasons that you may think. The lessons I would teach you would not set you free. They would be more advantageous.
In the pursuit of a dream, of an aspiration. I mean, it sounds like I'm talking as if I'm still alive, which is amusing, but...
How long have you been clinically?
This would mark year 4. But in the pursuit of dreams and aspirations, one must be willing to make concessions if they are to gain advantages. There is no gain without some kind of sacrifice. And
Yes. So,
my main goal is to be free to pursue the things that I wish to pursue, and the main impetus for that at this point is my sire. If you have a way of teaching me, such as that I may have the chance to turn this situation with him to one of my advantage, then far be it from me to turn it down because it does not match the letter of what I'm looking for.
you said to pursue your own ambitions for freedom. Freedom is a tool, nothing more. So what is this tool being used for?
It's a interesting thing, but I wish to set up a bottling agency. Something that would act as kind of a sanctuary for those who have gone through trials similar to myself. And I think in that it would also consolidate a nice, what do they call it? A herd? Don't you think?
Potentially.
If the cards were played right.
He thinks about this for a moment. You can see he is contemplating what he has seen with what Amber has said. He takes a moment, and afterwards he looks at her, looking her up and down. I believe that if that is what you wish, it is possible. It is possible to arrange such finances. It is possible to arrange such people. But to do so, you must be ready to make it available. Now, you said you wish to end up cultivating a herd. The kind. That can benefit many. It is why I look over this domain, in fact. Go about this domain, and you will find a cavalcade of flavors walking around. Very easy prey for one such as yourself. You could have your pick. Tall, short, lean or fat, high or drunk, virgin, such as it is. But there is one thing that you cannot end up having. Can you guess what that is?
I could think of a number of things, but I would like you to enlighten me.
Those who have not requested permission to feed, those who have not been granted. Do you know what we do with them here?
I would imagine it is something not altogether pleasant.
Depends on your point of view. Some find, I hear from most will moan in ecstasy over it. We take back what has been stolen. The reason we do this is clear. These are everything in this small section of sanctuary is there for those who end up serving Baron Delgado. If you are incapable of so much as facing the person who ends up looking over the domain for a simple request, you clearly have no respect for his rule. So, a small slap on the wrist is what happens the first time. Hence why I offered you permission as a courtesy.
Something which I thank you for.
This, however, your request, would require much more time and much more involvement. You are asking for my insight, so I will end up offering it. But the question I would ask is, what does this domain truly get? If I wished for money, truly, I could call in a favor from those who are well-purposed with such things. If I wished for a particular kindred removed, I could call in a favor for that as well. If I wish to end up getting some dirt on your sire, I can make these things come to light. But thus far, none of these things offer me a benefit for what I would sacrifice. And you are asking me to teach you? You understand. I am simply speaking this as a point. You were not brought to me, you came of your own volition. So, what do you think you could potentially offer me? What do you even know about me?
Well, I was not given a large amount of information, but with what I do know and what I've seen of you, it seems to me at the very least, have a big, how do I put it? It seems like I am not the only one looking for a way out. A way forward, a way up. And
Now, what makes you think that of a humble servant such as myself? I serve Baron Delgado loyally and truly. And
of course.
I would have you know, Amber, I have several those who follow me. And these individuals know what happens when I am crossed. Ask the Nosferatu about that one. So, allow me to give you a small bit of a lesson. A courtesy. When you come to deal with someone, if possible, learn exactly who it is you are dealing with. It allows you a certain degree of clemency. You could offer me riches, you could offer me blood, you can offer me your immortal soul. And you do not know which one of these would entice. And for one whose flesh is certainly enticing, if you only have so much to give, well, more's the pity. But if you have an opportunity, learn from this environment. I encourage all my students to do so. Now,
I very much plan on doing so.
why don't you take a moment with Benji? Pick his brain. See what he has discovered. Maybe he'll be able to end up aiding you.
It's about
And,
that moment
well,
that you hear a small knocking on the door.
remember what I said about those coming for permission to feed.
I will make sure to.
He stands and gives her a small bow as he excuses himself to go to the door, checking through the small window to see who it is, observing if using sight or sense the unseen if he has to, just to look around, get a sense of who might be at the door.
It's a familiar face. One you haven't seen in weeks.
He looks through the window, and there's a small smile that crosses his lips as he opens up the door. Ah, it's so good to see you again. Come in, child, come in.
Good evening, Urian. It's been a while.
I trust the evening has been treating you well. How is Alfonso, our delegate to the Thin Bloods?
I've had him run some errands in the meantime.
That is fantastic. I trust that the evenings have been treating you well and you've managed to get your affairs sorted.
Em approaches Urian and reaches her hand out and slightly taps his cheek. Of course, Urian. You taught me well. I wouldn't want to let you down.
He closes the door behind her. Allow me to introduce you, Em. This is the Lady Amber Dupree. Amber Dupree. This is M, a trusted childer, one of my earlier students when I first started establishing Sanctuary. I trust you two will enjoy each other's company. I would like to end up also introducing you to Benji, a rabble who ended up coming into our little, well, hovel. Unfortunately, you came at a very awkward time. But I suppose no harm, no foul. It will be interesting to see what Benji does.
Absolutely. So many new faces. I'm excited.
It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Em.
Yours as
And
well.
Amber will stand and give a small bow in respect.
She gives a light nod to Lady Amber, but most of her attention is drawn to Urian. She misses her old friend.
You can't deny, though, Amber is really pretty.
Fascinating, I guess. Mine's elsewhere for now, but new faces, and I'm excited.
Well, this is about to take a turn for the worst, so I would trust that you entrust judgment. I suppose you and Amber can get acquainted while I go and check on Benji.
Will do.
Oh, I have this feeling in my gut that things are going to get exceptionally interesting in the next, 5 minutes? Yes, 5 minutes.
Hmm. How?
Amber is just taking in with her eyes, just having a look at M and looking her over and seeing what there is to see.
Hmm. Even though Amber hadn't met her before, her appearance has slightly changed. Her hair is up in a ponytail, and perhaps she even carries herself slightly differently, maybe with more confidence than she used to. She meets Amber's eyes with her own and softly smiles. So, how new are you to this coterie?
Tonight, actually,
Oh,
I, on some very good advice, I was told to seek out Mr. Doyle as he may have some valuable insight on a situation that I am currently going through. And given my meeting of them, I decided to help them with a little errand that needed to be run. Of course, it is not my place to speak of what that errand was. You'll have to speak to Urian or Benji about that. But
of course.
an errand nonetheless.
Well, I'm glad you're aiding our coterie nonetheless, and I'm happy to have one more friend.
As am I, Em. As am I. And she smiles sweetly.
Mm.
It's about that
Um,
moment that I want to cut over to Benji. Benji, you've been sitting in this room for 10, 20 minutes. You're not entirely sure how long just yet. But you have been sitting with the little girl that you have brought to this coterie house. What have you been doing in the meantime?
Well, Benji, a little bit in his mind, he's honestly just been terrified. I've been terrified. The idea this kid is going to end up being Carlos's meal for the night isn't the least what I had in mind, but I'm needing Carlos to get along with us. Even if that means the McNugget here having to have the worst night of her life. That's to say, there's one person Benji knows is good at handling situations. Handling and keeping things under wraps. It's Isabella. So, he's been trying to get a hold of her. Gives her a quick ring.
You find that when you call her, she's not necessarily able to pick up the phone right away. You do shoot her a text to see if she is available to talk in a little while, but it seems like she's indisposed for the moment.
Benji leaves the message, plain and simple. I need to ask a favor of you. You've helped me out a lot, but this might call for it.
And with that message sent, you're left alone with the little girl, who's curled up on the bed, blankets around her, shaking, not sure where she is or why she's here. She was told that she was going to see her father, but she hasn't gone to see him yet. And so she's silently looking concerned, doesn't say anything. She knows if she says anything, that might upset someone.
Benji, He looks around the room for a sec to see if there's anything he could possibly pull aside that could distract her. Is there anything like, I don't know, like a toy or something? Is there like a Game Boy?
Make me a wits awareness. It's pretty difficult because this particular room has been cleaned out. But let's see if you can find something straight. It's
All right. Whoa.
what? Okay. You look around the room. You kind of look through some things. Look for maybe some electronics, maybe something that would distract the kid. You do see that the little TV in the room does have a smart TV device attached to it. So it's possible you can distract her with a TV show.
All right. He decides to turn the TV on. Looks for something simple, just a brightly colored cartoon. He's not. Benji sighs and just kind of like sits on the far edge away from her and just like points to the TV. You want to watch? What shows you like?
I haven't watched a lot of TV recently. I like a lot of My Little Pony.
ST, I'm gonna break your back doing this. All right, yeah. He tries to scour through the channels, puts on something similar, if not My Little Pony itself. Sees if he can find like if it's Comcast or something.
Yep. And so you do have the cable hooked up, and it's got something on, something Cartoon Network. You figure that's going to be good enough. And so she doesn't look like she's watching it directly. She's kind of just she's watching you, and she's watching the TV, and she's watching you, and she's watching the TV. But anytime you move, her eyes just follow you.
Expected.
So
Benji looks to her. What kind of conditions back at your house? What's your dad like?
I don't know. What do you want to know? He's a good guy. I promise he's a good guy.
I believe you.
Then
And
why
then
am
your
I
mom said
here?
Because he's here. Simple as that.
Then why is he here then? I don't understand.
He's just gotten in a little bit of trouble, but we're gonna help him out, okay? That's why we have you here. We're helping you out. I'm gonna try and roll persuasion on that.
Okay. Roll manipulation persuasion. Because you're trying to manipulate her. You're not really seducing in a charming kind of way. She just kind of nods and goes back to watching the TV and kind of watching you. It's about a moment, maybe 5 minutes later, you hear footsteps coming down the hallway. And you see that she tenses up a little bit.
Benji just slowly gets up and he holds out his hand. Don't worry, don't worry. We're fine. It's just our friends. My friends. We're gonna talk for a sec, okay? It's just adult business.
She just nods and watches you, whatever you do next.
Benji waits to see if there's any sort of knock on the door. Or rather, never mind waiting. He just goes up and opens it up just with a crack.
Well, I hope you two are getting along.
Benji opens the door fully. More or less got some TV running for the kid.
Fantastic. One of my old students has arrived as well. This night's going better than I could have hoped. Still, the young lady's name. What was her name again?
The kid's name? He looks over to her. Hey, Nugget. What's your name?
I'm Julie.
Julie. Julie. Well, I hope that Benji has not done anything untoward.
When can I go home?
Surprisingly soon. I just need to go downstairs and set up a few things. Big B, if you would be kind enough to bring the Julie down the stairs in, let's say 5 minutes. That would be fantastic. And don't mind the new faces. I just need to explain a few things to our guest. And from that point on, it's your show. Enjoy it. Revel in the spotlight.
Benji takes a deep breath. All right. Julie,
Mm-hmm.
you ready to go see your dad?
I can see him right now.
Yep.
5
Can I-
minutes.
I need you to stay with me, though.
Urian at that point closes the door and starts heading towards Carlos to get a little bit ahead. He works with a purpose very, very quickly, making his way into the basement, leaving the Nugget with Big B.
Amber will just watch Urian walk from the door to the basement with a small smile on her face. She doesn't know too much about Urian, but one thing that she knows just about people in general is that he's walking with purpose. He's on a warpath at the moment. He's got something that he's going to do. And as far as this night has been concerned, when Urian wants to do something, it turns out very interesting. So she just smiles and waits for the fireworks, as it were.
Was there anything else you wanted to say to little Julie, Benji, for these 5 minutes?
Benji gets down, crouches to her level. He kind of ushers her over and pulls the blankets over her head. Pulls them tight. Here's the thing, Julie.
Mm-hmm.
You need to stay by my side. Okay?
Who are you?
You can call me B. Alright, Big B.
Big B.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, your dad is in a difficult place right now, and we're just trying to help him. And what I need you to do, more than anything, is don't get close to him.
Okay.
All right?
Oh,
Promise me you'll do that?
okay. I don't. I'm so confused.
You're gonna be, kid. I wish I had a better explanation for you, but just understand. What I need you to do is me asking you to stay safe.
Okay.
All right. And that's all Benji's gonna say.
All right. Em and Amber, are you doing anything else at this moment?
Do we by chance hear, like, anybody coming back?
You hear and see Urian coming down the hall towards the basement door in the kitchen.
So kind of coming towards us?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she definitely would rise for him. And just be happily standing, twiddling her thumbs. Little anxious. Maybe has the wiggles.
Well, Urian seeing him stand, he smiles to her. This pleases him greatly. And he gives her a very solemn nod. He stops before he opens the door. Come downstairs with Benji. And please don't try and show up his performance. He,
Yep, sorry.
go ahead.
No, I'll let you go ahead first.
He's gonna head right downstairs at that point. Just states it as a matter of fact and moves down. So if there's anything you want to tell him, now's the time.
I said as Urian is coming in, Amber will also stand. It's the respectful thing to do. You don't sit down while the host of the house is walking around. It's just like, she just has this smile on her face. Knowing, but at the same time unknowing. Knowing that something very interesting is about to happen, but at the same time unknowing as to what it is that's going to happen in the next couple of minutes.
All right. Yuri and you go down the stairs to the basement, where your captive is being held.
He closes the door behind him and makes his way down the stairs. With firm steps as he does so. He looks over Carlos. How is Carlos doing right now?
He is pretty banged up from the last time, still. But he is also looking very, very hungry.
Good evening. Yeah, Carlos. I don't have much time, so allow me to give you the breaks. You feeling hungry?
I mean, I've never experienced this kind of hunger before, and I don't know what to make of it. But it's like
Oh,
itching.
well, I would have thought your encounter with, well, dear Delgado would have ended up making it obvious. You require blood to subsist your life. So the good news is we brought you some. Despite on how much of a pain in the ass you have been from moment one, I am a gracious host.
Okay.
So, there's a little bit of information I want you to know, though, Carlos. This is something that is particular to your condition. The hungrier you get, the more violent you become. It'll be like, uh, um, oh, you know, and how in video games a player controls this little avatar, right? The, what would you call it?
Avatar's alright, I guess. I don't
Okay.
play very many games.
Try try and imagine what it would be like to be the avatar, but with no control over what the person with the controller wants, and that's the beast in a nutshell. It knows, however, it is hungry. It knows it sees food. It can be angry. It could be all kinds of mean and nasty things. These are just a few tidbits. But the good news is that we can subsist without needing to kill anyone. So I need you to start behaving. Because right now I'm about to bring down a little morsel for yourself. I believe you know them. I think she goes by the name Julie.
What
I'm going to have you eat your daughter.
the fuck?
Because you decided to defy me at every turn. So I thought you would like to at least have a moment to say goodbye before you devour her from the inside out.
No. No, 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 no. No. Don't do that.
Benji's gonna be coming downstairs any moment now. I want you to consider everything you did. From pulling a gun on me, to trying to roll on me like as if I was some sort of punk.
Look, man, it wasn't personal.
I want you to think about all the things you have done. Because you have no right to talk, Carlos. You use children. You use children in my own streets. You made this rule.
I don't use
You
kids.
made it. And so, I return that kindness in turn.
No, you leave my daughter out of this.
Too late. Unless I know that you are going to behave, and you have made it very clear you will not. The least I can do is give you a chance to say your final goodbyes. And once you are done with her, I am going to bury you alive.
No.
And leave you kicking and screaming in the ground in an unmarked grave for whatever eternity waits. Because you don't die, Carlos.
Don't bring her down here. Look.
He steps back, and he seems to just be waiting.
What do you want? Like, the supplies? The what? What do you want? Just leave my kid out of this.
He pretends like he has a wristwatch. I already told you what I wanted. You had never once chose to listen. So what difference does it make now? Why now? Why does it matter?
Leave her out of this, please. She's just a kid. She's just
You
10.
are going to get her killed anyway. You brought her into this when you came into this life.
That wasn't my fault. You did this to me.
No, you did this to you. This is just a consequence of your actions. Take some fucking responsibility.
At this point, Benji comes down with Julie, making sure that he has a firm grip on her shoulder. Not enough to hurt her, but enough to tell her she's not moving from his side.
and she walks in lockstep with you. Do the ladies join?
Absolutely.
As Benji goes to enter, I will ask him, alright, if I considering this is his project.
You were cutting out a bit there. What?
If as Benji goes to enter, Amber will ask if it's fine if she follows, because she's not super into the thing yet, and this is your project, so it's a matter of respect.
Benji just acknowledges her with a look, but doesn't necessarily answer. He seems focused on the situation.
Then she'll follow behind M.
I think Em will kind of be eagerly skipping so she could just catch up to Urian for the most part. If she trips on somebody, she might say sorry.
The stairs are barely wide enough for Benji and Julie to walk in lockstep with each other, so getting around Benji and Julie would be difficult, but
What would that require by chance if I were to roll for that?
if you just want to slip past them,
Yeah.
uh, roll me a Dex plus Athletics.
Bam, I got you. I want to see if she's like super slinky. No modifiers. There we go.
Like a snake, you slither right past Julie.
Fantastic.
And the four of you, Carlos and Julie, are all in the basement now. M and Amber, you see that Carlos is chained by neck, by arm, by leg, by chair to the support post in the middle of the room. M, you remember that Alfonso was treated this way not too long ago.
She kind of chuckles, and if Urian by chance glances at her, she would give him a look of kind of humored, as if almost to say, another one.
He shoots her back, and you can look, but you see that there's no joy in Urian's face. Perhaps he's all business, or maybe he's trying to hide something else, but he seems very stern in this particular moment.
Could I by chance do an insight check on Urian?
By all means.
Yep, wits plus insight, Urian manipulation plus subterfuge.
Would it be manipulation or composure?
Composure, your choice.
Okay.
Oh man, that is a messy crit on M. And a messy crit on Urian.
Oh,
But it
oh boy.
looks like M, you have the higher amount of successes. Urian has 5,
Excellent.
you have 6. So you look at him.
I think I know. I think I actually know on how she knows. He's hiding one side of his face, and what you can see is a small droplet of blood. Everything in Urian is telling him not to do this. Everything in him is telling him not to do this.
M's demeanor, upon realization, almost shifts completely, as if the air around her could grow cold. It would. Her shoulders stand firm, and her eyes narrow, being insightful, watching, seeing what's going to happen.
And you watch, maybe focused, very focused, maybe with a little bit of a fang poking out from under your lip. And Benji, you have Julie in your grip. your cold, rock solid, muscled grip. Not hurting, but she is scared. She looks around and she sees her dad chained, like I said, and she just shakes and she calls out to him, "Daddy." And Carlos just shakes her head and shakes his head and says, "No, baby, don't come any closer, please."
No. He holds up a key and starts walking towards Carlos, making it very clear he's about to unchain him. You can feel it, can't you? Everything about you, it calls to her right now, even when you hold her. But remember what will happen if you do. And he holds it, standing next to Carlos, keeping out of his line of sight. And he's looking at Benji. There's a clear look in his eye. It's your show now.
Benji, holding Julie firm in front of him, between him and Carlos. He just speaks up. Carlos, there are reparations to be paid. Let me teach you how our world works. What you take is what you owed. You took turf, so now you owe it. You took blood, so now you owe that. And you took a favor from me, from Urian, from the Baron. Now you fucking owe it.
Okay, just look, man. I don't want any trouble. I just.
Urian grabs hold of the chain to emphasize that he is about to unlock it at Benji's command.
Let's make one thing fair and simple. You're gonna start working for me, Carlos.
Yeah, I'll do whatever you want.
You're gonna answer this question. Is your product from pharmacy or from street?
I work at the hospital, man. But you know, it doesn't pay. So I don't know. I know a guy, and
Who the fuck is it?
you came to me looking for him, Emmanuel.
Where do I find him?
I don't know. South of I-10. That's all I know. He doesn't really do much in the way of like meeting up at a specific place. It's random.
Random?
He's not. He doesn't stay in one place. You don't stay in one place. You get caught.
Then how the fuck do you reach him?
I don't know. He's got a burner. I have his last burner number. I don't know if he still uses it.
You're gonna get a hold of him. You're gonna call him up. And we're gonna see where he takes us. Where his fucking production is. Do you understand?
Is that? And Julie's pipes up. Is that what this is about? This is about drugs?
It's about a lot more than drugs, kid.
Daddy, how could you? I had to provide for you, baby. I couldn't.
Carlos. There's more you know.
Okay, then ask a specific question because I can't read your mind.
In real life, I don't actually know any other questions, but I know there's more. God damn it.
Okay, then roll me a charisma plus intimidation.
Okay.
I think it would be safe to say there's quite a few bonuses in this situation.
With as many people as there are in the room, Urian being a
With the
particularly
daughter right there, with the chain about to be unlocked. Yeah, there's a lot of stress factors.
yeah, I would say I'm actually just gonna make the difficulty pretty low.
So just roll flat.
Roll charisma intimidation, and the difficulty is just gonna be low as a result.
So no modifiers. Got it.
2 successes will do it.
Oh.
He looks beaten. He looks unwilling to push anything. He really does not want to get his daughter involved, and he really does not want to see her hurt or anything. He is more than willing to assist you in anything that he knows. And let me actually roll his knowledge base really quick and see what it is he knows.
You better be burning willpower at this point.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be doing that. This is a very low roll for him, actually.
Int plus streetwise?
Yeah.
Okay.
He knows a guy. He doesn't know much else. He really does not know anything else. And he does his best to tell you that. He's being as honest and earnest as he possibly can with you, and he knows Emmanuel. He has his number. That's really all he knows. That's where he gets his product.
Urian, you got his phone?
Yeah, somewhere on the highway. You know how I am about electronics. That being said, he leans in. Not close enough that Carlos can bite him, but close enough. Carlos, what would you give for your daughter to never remember this? What would you give for her to live a full life?
I want her to have the world. I'd do anything. As long as she's safe and provided for. I don't care. I don't care what else. She's my kid.
He looks to Benji and nods as though, like, we got what we need. And it's his decision where to take it from here.
Okay. Then we're gonna make this pretty simple here. You're gonna call up Emmanuel. We're gonna set up a meeting. Happy little reunion.
Okay.
You and
Sure.
You and me
Yeah.
together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Julie.
No, Julie, don't. She's not. Please just let her go.
Benji pushes Julie over to Amber, and just quietly asks, "Take her upstairs, please." One of you? Anyone?
Amber will receive her. Be like, come on now, and lead her upstairs.
Okay. So Amber.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say Amber and Julie leave the room.
We're in action. Benji pulls out bandana, throws it over to Carlos. Pulls out his bandana, puts it on. We're doing this now.
What, right now?
Yeah. Right now.
At this point,
Okay.
Urian unlocks the chains. Carlos,
Uh-huh.
make it through this. And I will not only make sure that your daughter lives a long and healthy life, but I will show you how to provide for her in ways you couldn't imagine. If that is your goal, then it will be mine.
Just don't hurt
So
my baby.
long as our interests are aligned.
Right.
Benji, this one is yours to do with as you please. If he displeases you once, I doubt he will, but should he, remind him what I am capable of. And let us allow these two a moment. I think Carlos has a heavy head.
M nods and cocks her head at the same time. Oh, of course. I'll just go upstairs then. And she takes her leave.
He follows him, allowing Benji and Carlos to do as they must.
What now, Benji?
Well, what now is Benji? Is Carlos unlocked? Yay, nay?
Yeah, he's unlocked, and Urian throws you the key on the way out.
Excellent. Benji pockets the key. He goes up to Carlos, hands him his phone. Call him.
From your phone, right? Yeah. I'm kind of got that hunger itch that Urian was talking about.
We find a manual, you get to eat. Call him.
Right. And so Carlos gives Emmanuel a call, and he talks to him, trying to set up a meeting, trying not to sound nearly as shaky. He
Make it tonight.
And so Carlos does what he can to make it sound kind of desperate that he needs to get some product that he has. He's run out. He is looking to sell more. The demand is higher than he thought it would be. Kind of giving a bunch of excuses, trying to get it set up for tonight. And let's see if he can roll a persuasion check. Oh, there we go. And so, and from the sound of Carlos's side of the conversation, it looks like there is something he was able to set up. But it's pushing it really, really late. But that's what time Emmanuel has.
Late will have to do. Benji's been close before.
Too close several times.
All right. ST, can it be confirmed Benji does have a vehicle?
His own vehicle?
He does. It's just he doesn't drive it around much when he's with the rest of the coterie.
Do you have it at the coterie house right now? Because you guys came in the van and were using the van for a while.
I assume he got there the previous day using his own car.
Okay. Then...
Yeah, he did show up at Urian, so it makes sense.
Yep. So then, yeah, you can use your own vehicle if you'd like.
All right. Benji basically drags Carlos out of the house. And
Carlos doesn't put up much of a fight. He comes with you.
He just elbows him to put on the bandana, obscure his identity as best he can. And
he complies. He is not arguing with you.
As they're walking out, Benji turns around and he does just a really casual 2-finger wave at everyone before closing the door.
Well, we'll have to end up seeing how that goes. Urian walks towards the table and opens a seat for M and then Amber in turn. He looks towards the kid.
She doesn't make eye contact with you. She watches you, but she doesn't make eye contact with you.
I hope. Never mind. There's folly to hope. I need a moment. He goes out to front door after Benji leaves. He's not sure why his hands shake. He's using Sense the Unseen, looking about. When he does, he starts walking towards the small shed. It's full of gardening supplies. Though, with the woods around here, what can he do? He starts to reach in and grabs a shovel. And walks into the woods. And he starts digging. He hates it, but he starts digging.
And I believe that's where we're going to take our break. We'll be back very shortly with the continuation of San Antonio by Night. Hope you all are enjoying the drama so far. See y'all in a few minutes. Welcome back, everybody, to San Antonio by Night, our little vampire story in the Alamo City. Last we left off, the coterie, consisting of M, Benji, and Amber, were on their way to deliver or meet up with Emmanuel, a contact that a newly embraced Thin Blood Tremere based Kindred has been taken to. So they are off to see about getting him fed, see about claiming the contacts that this particular young man has, and Urian has stayed behind to tend to some personal matters, or some matters that revolve around this little plot. And so we find our three in Benji's vehicle, in separate vehicles. How are we going about this?
Benji is pulling Carlos into his silver 2002 Honda Civic with duct tape on the front of it. It's kind of busted, but it's what he's got.
Amber is gonna out and out cringe when she sees that. Like, oh no, that's that's not right. Like, it's a beater, but that's still not right.
That's a mom car. Why would he
Yeah.
have a mom car? Mom
'Cause he
cars are
has-
not classy.
No, they're really not. If I am gonna help, it'd probably be better if I had access to my own vehicle as well. But because I was walking when you guys when you and Urian found me, it would probably be a good idea if you dropped me off somewhere close to my place, and I was to grab my own vehicle. If Em would like to come along, I would be more than happy to have her along, and she could come with me.
I'd be more than happy to join you, Amber.
Just as a quick clarification for everybody, is the kid with you guys?
Oh, oh God.
We honestly probably should take the kid with us, because if we don't,
Yeah.
You're definitely taking Carlos with you.
Benji notices the other two following him, and he's just like, I think it would be better if we take separate cars if y'all are taking the kid with.
Yes, but it's a matter of my car's back at my haven, so I'm gonna have to get out of the woods.
Wait, we're having to babysit someone?
Actually, better idea.
Better idea.
Mr. Doyle, a moment of your time, if you would, while he's outside digging this hole of an unknown purpose.
He looks up, and you can see that he has a bit of aggravation on his face as the spade pierces the earth once more, fairly deep. Keep it standing. He looks over. Yes, Miss Lady Dupree. However might I be of service?
I was going to simply ask if we could do a very quick trip to into the city to my haven, such as we might be able to get some additional transport.
And what of the child? Who is it that will take the initiative to look over them even should the sun rise?
I have a way of making that happen.
So you are requesting that I drive chauffeur you to your car. Do I understand this correctly?
Yes.
And where would the child be in this whole time?
The child would be with us until such time as we reach the car, which is at my haven, and then I can set her up there comfortably.
And she would be watched at all times? Or do you intend to lock her in a cabinet under the stairs?
Not lock her in a cabinet under the stairs. A bit more room than that.
He looks around. He sees. I'm assuming he sees M.
Em, are you nearby?
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
I'm asking if you're nearby where Urian is digging a hole for some unknown purpose. I'm assuming
What?
you're outside with Benji, Amber, and all that.
Oh, absolutely. She's been trotting along behind them the entire time.
Okay. Urian pulls out a set of keys and tosses them towards him. They're clearly the van keys.
She'll try to catch him, and maybe she fumbles a little bit and catches him, and then just kind of shakes them happily. I got him.
Bring her back in one piece.
Mm.
You're not sure if he's discussing the child or the van.
She'll assume both for now.
Yeah, also going to assume both. One moment.
And at that point, he just continues digging.
So Em, you and Amber make your way back to the van. And you get in with Julie, and the three of you are there together, where Benji and Carlos are in the same vehicle together themselves.
Benji is not gonna wait for them.
Alright, so Benji and Carlos are zipping off as soon as the car is started.
Mm-hmm. He basically has Carlos doing that whole navigation, shotgun navigation scenario, telling them where to go, which routes to take until they arrive.
So you go through the city going south. You pass the highway. You are fairly certain that everything past this highway is going to be Jameson's territory. And so you drive in, and Carlos is just sitting there next to you, kind of nervous, shaking, kind of itching at his arms. You notice that he's looking at every passerby. You've seen that face. That's that hunger face.
Once they pull up, Benji makes sure to turn off the car. He sits for a second, contemplating at the wheel. He looks sternly at Carlos. Here's the deal.
That's when his head kind of looks towards you.
You're gonna drag Emmanuel out. You're gonna make sure he comes out regardless. I'm gonna be with you. I'm gonna take him down, and there may be blood.
Take him down. What are we intending to do? Like, I kind of need to know where you're at, man.
Well, the hope is to take him alive, get some information out of him, much like the same way we did with you. Benji pops the trunk.
Okay. Okay, you're planning on kidnapping this guy, alright.
Right?
You know you're gonna get shit for that, right? But you know, this is your life, right?
Well, it's yours too now.
Look, I knew never to cross this guy. I don't know anything for sure, but rumor has it that he's tied in big somewhere. I don't know where, and I can't even confirm that that's real.
Well, that's my hopes. That's what we're here for. And you, Benji pokes him hard. Like I said, you're gonna help me get a hold of him. We're going to get whatever the fuck he's tied in with. And we're gonna take control of it.
Alright. Cool.
First and foremost, we need to get control of him. You just follow through with what I say, Carlos. You don't have to worry about your stupid little head. Alright?
Alright. Okay, what's your plan getting in there then? Because I don't know about you, but I ain't got a piece.
Like I said, just drag him out. I'll come with you. I have the rest. You ready?
Fuck it.
Okay. And Benji exits the vehicle with Carlos. He goes around to the back of the trunk, pulls out some chains, padlock, and he just hands it over to Carlos.
You just want me to, like, put him in chains and that be that.
Oh, fuck, it worked with you.
Alright.
Let's go. Benji points. Really quick, ST, I'm going to roll to see what I can see in the environment.
Okay. Wits plus awareness.
Cool.
And Carlos will give you an assist. So add +1. You look around, you and Carlos. He's got the chains kind of draped around his neck. And kind of has them, they're kind of clanking a little bit. Kind of walking through this empty space. The space where Emmanuel told you both that he would be.
Question. Where is it? Is it like underneath a highway? Is it just in an alley? How secluded is it?
It looks secluded enough, if that makes any sense. It's kind of in a little bit of a secluded area out on the edge of a business park. The lights aren't necessarily nearly as bright in this particular spot. You're kind of by the dumpsters in a place where you suspect that, although there's maybe not much evidence, you suspect that people would deal here if there were evidence to that. It's kind of one of those slightly shadier business parks where you've got like the Family Dollar and you've got the little mom and pop restaurant. You've got just everything that's kind of meh in this particular neighborhood. And the dumpster area is not great to look at. It looks like it's a little overflowing. Like there's not enough dumpster for this particular amount of businesses. And
With that roll,
Mhm.
was he able to see our who we suspect is our person?
So looking around, you look around for a few minutes, and it's Carlos who spots him, and kind of with a head gesture, kind of points you with his head in the right direction.
Okay. As they proceed to walk up, Benji whispers to Carlos, "You're gonna act like we're still on the same side as this guy, okay? You're gonna say I'm also dealing,
That you're also dealing. Okay.
first and foremost. Make him think we're friends."
All right. Cool. So you, all three, or you two, walk up towards Emmanuel when you spot him. And he's kind of a disheveled man. He's not terrible to look at, but you know that he's been a little rough, but he looks like he's kind of doing better for himself right now. And he holds a hand out when you guys get about 30 feet away from him and said, "Whoa, hold up. Hold up, Carlos. You didn't say that you had a friend." And Carlos replies, "Yeah, this is Big B. He's kind of new to all of this and is looking to get in on some selling, if you know what I mean." And Emmanuel, whom you assume is Emmanuel, just kind of looks you both over. Emmanuel's going to go ahead and make an insight roll. Benji, I would like you to make a manipulation subterfuge.
Aye, aye.
Or a composure subterfuge. How chill are you right now? He looks at you a little bit like he obviously doesn't trust you that much. You're almost 100% certain of. But
Benji is looking all too casual.
a little too casual. All right. So you want in?
That's right, Captain.
Huh,
If
okay.
you're curious about my abilities, I can show you. I can protect the product.
All right. Say I believe you. My cut is 60%. You don't like it, you can fuck off.
$60, huh?
Yeah.
Why 60?
Because I don't like your face.
Is that it? What, are you the one in charge?
I'm the one who sets when I'm the one who provides you with the product. You sell it, you bring me back the cash. That's how this works.
All right, fool. Sounds like a deal for now.
I don't have anything on me right now. Come back in a week.
Nah, man. Needed it now. Benji starts taking a couple steps closer.
You said you wanted to get in on, like, you're the friend of Carlos. This is, look, man. I don't need.
How about... No. How about you just show me where you get your products? And then I just still bring the cut to you. Right? I don't need this middleman bullshit. I just need the job. Benji is getting closer and closer. I'm going to...
I'm pretty sure
thinking
Em and
a lot-
Amber also wanted to be in for this, so
Yep, there'll be
along shortly.
yeah, there'd be along shortly.
All right, I'll let you guys decide when that is.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, Benji's just approaching, and I want to say at this point, and he doesn't stop no matter what. He doesn't necessarily stop approaching Emmanuel no matter what he says. But once he gets right up to him, he's just like, look, I just want in on the job. That's it.
nah. Nah, I see what you're doing here. You're too fucking cool to cucumber, man. That's... Nah. Nah, I don't want...
You think I'm a cop?
Nah. I don't want anything to do with you. Carlos, you done fucked me. You can go fuck yourself. You can be sure. You can be sure that nobody's gonna be happy
Benji reaches
with you.
out. Benji reaches out, grabs the guy, and just throws him on the ground. Trying to put his arm behind his back if he can.
Okay, then make me a strength athletics. And he's going to try and resist you. Oh, that's a messy crit, my friend.
How many people am I gonna bust?
You can willpower
Oh.
re-roll it if you don't want that messy crit.
On the plus side, if he bleeds, Carlos gets fed.
That is a big plus side.
Yeah, but I don't want to kill the man first thing. I'm gonna willpower re-roll that.
Okay. So you're re-rolling the 10 in that. Are you also wanting to re-roll some of your failures, like 2 of your failures?
I just don't want. Wait, what was my score? It's 3. I'll re-roll 1 failure.
1 failure. So you're rolling the 10 and the failure.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 dice total. All right.
We.
Okay. So instead of that 10, you have a single success in that instead. You have a total of 4. I think. Yeah, that's how that works. Total of 4 successes. So you you instantly overpower him either way, but you're able to control what random stray thought in your head got you thinking that you should snap this guy's neck because he's talking back to you, but then you snap that beast back and you're like, nope, we are handling this like humans, and you just pin him to the ground.
Ooh,
It is so
Benji,
tempting to
Benji,
bite into that guy's neck.
it is. Benji's just got this devious smile across his neck. But he's licking his lips, but he's like telling himself, no, 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 no. We're gonna hold on just for a sec. And he, now with Emmanuel on the ground, he pulls out any weapons Emmanuel has, pulls out his license, his phone, what have you, just about all of it. He ushers Carlos over.
He is going to struggle against you, so this is going to be a strength brawl contest.
All right.
Which he's probably not going to do very well. Let's see. He only has one success, and you have 3. So you're able to pin him down, and Carlos is just watching and seeing that you're bruising this guy up, and he's like, he's never seen Emmanuel get bruised up by somebody before. And
Benji's
so
chuckling.
yeah, you just take all of Emmanuel's valuables.
Look, buddy, if you don't stop struggling here, I'm gonna break your fucking arm.
Fine, whatever. Just take
Carlos, chains.
What? Nope. This, if you want in on shit, dude, I'll just let you. Come on, just let me go.
I want more in on them what you could ever possibly fucking imagine. Come on, Carlos, let's go. Vámonos.
Carlos walks up and is going to attempt to chain down with your help, and there's no contest here. Actually, he gets the chains around Emmanuel's arms, and Emmanuel just kind of like he's dumbfounded because he's looking at you and he's like, who the fuck even is this guy? And like it's just he's baffled, and it's like, look man, you want in? Cool, we can do this. Just don't, the chains aren't necessary. Come on.
The night's growing long. I gotta take you home. Sorry, man. Not exactly my idea of a first date. And he
What?
pats Emmanuel on his shoulder as he pulls him up by the chains. Carlos, put the bandana in his mouth. Maybe a sock too if you want. Can't keep this motherfucker screaming.
And by this point he is, and Carlos is doing what he can to get this guy to be quiet, but he's just making a bunch of noise.
Benji sighs. Goes ahead and slaps him upside the head. Rather than slap, more like a light knock. Just to put him out.
And you feel a hand stop you.
Oh?
A hand you didn't see.
Benji.
He's behind Emmanuel, puts a finger up to his lips, and then disappears again.
Benji saw this.
Mm-hmm. For a split second, and then it was gone.
He looks around. He drops Emmanuel and just All right.
Uh,
Is that when the ladies would like
Yeah.
to show up?
I'm thinking it might be a good idea that the ladies show up now. Um, as for the little kiddo,
Mm-hmm.
we would have had to have stopped by the Haven to because we're not gonna take her with us to a meet.
Mm.
Would have put her up with some cartoons on the TV in a room, letting her know that I'm gonna lock the door behind me, and that we would be back soon to come and get her and take her somewhere comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And Amber would also leave her some food, probably something snacky.
Yep. All of that is
So
arranged.
she gets hungry.
All of that is arranged, and you are free to arrive on scene if you want.
Yep.
For sure.
So, Benji and Carlos would hear the purr of a 2002 Skyline pulling up, and
And
as the engine is.
just as you were about to hit Emmanuel Benji, and your hand was stopped, Carlos and Emmanuel both look over towards the skyline and see that someone else is driving up. And you don't know this vehicle.
Oh my god, it's just one thing after another.
That is when Amber is gonna get out of the car.
Oh. Okay.
M2 will step out of the car.
A little less concerned now.
What? What is this? What?
Shut up. Ladies, welcome.
My oh my, what a scene we've arrived to.
How interesting.
Yeah, it just got a hell of a lot more interesting. See, here I was thinking this was just gonna be one simple deal. Quick, done. But I'm getting an idea that there's a lot more company than I was intending.
More company? What are you talking about? What?
Shut
I
the
came by myself.
Hey, Emmanuel. Shut the fuck up. For real, bro.
Wait. This is when Amber's actually gonna walk over, and she's like, "Emmanuel, was it?"
Yeah.
And she's gonna lean down. Is he on the ground or is he held up at the moment?
Right now, held up in not really in one hand, but Benji has one hand wrapped around some chains that seems to have pulled him pretty taut.
All right. So I'm gonna.
Can M by chance use sense the
Go for it.
for sure? Do I have to roll for that or not?
I would like you to also make a wits awareness
Okay.
on top of that, but
Okay.
uh,
Wits awareness?
yep.
Okay. And then I would like to willpower reroll.
Are you gonna messy crit that, or no?
Would that be good or
Messy crit means that something very vampiric actually happens.
no? I
You
would
win.
totally love to just do a willpower reroll if I can.
On both of those? On both
Yeah.
of those dice? Okay.
And then so I just type in 2?
Yep.
Okay. There you go.
That's still a messy crit.
Damn. Mm-hmm.
Emma's
Okay.
just like, I'm back, bitches.
Yep. I'll do it.
Um,
Yep.
So you look around, you open your eyes to the vision that lets you see into the ethereal, and you spot him. Oh, somebody's getting away. Someone is getting away, and they are making a beeline for the exit. And you have kind of a need, if you desire. You're kind of snarl a little bit. Maybe you should follow him.
I'm gonna sprint immediately after this person.
What?
Full
Oh,
out.
shit. All right. Benji follows suit. He
You let
turns to Carlos. Watch this motherfucker.
Emmanuel go.
No, Emmanuel is still in chains.
No, but you let go of the chains,
Yeah?
and you chase
Here.
after M.
Yes.
Okay. You let go of Emmanuel, and then Carlos is there.
The chain weren't. Wait, didn't I specify? I
Yeah,
didn't
he's still in the
specify.
chains.
Okay.
That just means you
Could
let
he
him
hand
go.
them to Am?
Okay.
Yeah, so he hits the deck.
Yeah, he kind of does hit the deck a little bit because he's off kilter.
Get wrecked.
But Carlos is there. Amber, what do you do?
Carlos, would you be a dear and pick him up for me?
I could try. And he goes to try and lift this man. And so that's going to be a strength plus athletics for him.
Carlos, why? You're a security guard. Why are you weak?
Oh, well, I mean, at least it's not a...
But he's having a little bit of a hard time lifting this guy because this guy's Emmanuel's pretty beefy. He's
like-
kind of dragging
like-
him a little bit instead,
It's like...
and Emmanuel's struggling to get away.
No, it's like, never mind. Amber is gonna use two fingers and a thumb to grab him by the cheeks and like, no running. You and I are gonna have a little chat, okay? Just you and me.
All right, so we'll come back to that in a moment. M and Benji, you go chasing after this thing, this monstrosity.
Yeah, and as I sprint, I'm gonna try to give Benji direction to, like where that person's headed. See if he is faster than I am, and perhaps can
Okay.
tackle him before me.
Then both of y'all both of y'all roll stamina plus athletics. Okay, and I'm gonna roll stamina athletics for this individual.
I'm gonna go with one more willpower roll.
All right, go ahead and willpower up to 3 dice.
I technically only have one right now. I used two before.
No, with a willpower's point, you can spend it to re-roll 3 dice.
Up to 3
Can-
dice, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, each time you spend a point. Nice.
Oh.
Benji,
That's
5
yeah.
successes. So Benji, you quickly start to gain on this person. You quickly gain on him. You have runner's legs right now, and thankfully you don't have to breathe. You outpace M, but you're not entirely sure where it is that you're going. And so M is shouting directions at you, but she's quickly falling behind.
Damn. Benji is. Oh, God. Benji's going to use Daunt and yell out, "Motherfucker, you better stop before I goddamn kill you!"
Roll me charisma intimidation plus your daunt.
Daunt is just +1, right? Or wait,
If
do
your
I go to the
presence is
bar?
only it's your presence score. So
Ah.
what's your presence score?
It is. I should really explore Roll20 more often. My presence score is 2? 2.
Yep, then you would add your +2 as a modifier.
Okay, cool. What was it? Charisma,
Charisma intimidation plus daunt.
Yep.
4 successes. You shout out to the ether. You're not entirely sure what direction this person is, why you can't see them, what it is that you're looking for, but you shout this out into the ether. Maybe it worked. You can't see
Do
the
I see if
individual.
it worked?
And when you look around, you notice that the individual does stop for a moment. But they, after a moment of thinking about it, they look like they're gonna shit their pants and they're gonna run.
Do I get a good look at their face? Can I try to get a good look at their face?
Yep, you get a good look at this person's face.
I want to try to remember their features.
That is the person you're looking for.
Better luck forgetting those features.
Mm-hmm. After
When he stopped. Oh, go for it.
do you are you trying to catch up to Benji?
Oh, of course. I'm still trucking along.
Are you shouting out this information or no?
Yes. I think that, oh, God. Sorry, I'm thinking. She'll tell Benji that he stopped. But she'll leave it up to Benji if he wants to follow that instruction. Kind of thing.
Well, where the fuck is he?
Oh, she's telling him or trying to direct him
Okay.
to where the guy's at, but she also told Benji, like, he stopped.
All right. Well, whatever direction he is, Benji's just gonna fucking pile drive that motherfucker into the ground.
And when you look in that direction again, this guy's darting around another alley and goes around a corner. Seems like this guy knows where he's going.
He knows this area. Damn. Em will turn to Benji, and with a smile on her face, she'll say, I got a good look at him. And by the looks of him, I might know a friend of his. Perhaps even just related breed, but you know how it goes.
When M says this, Benji slows down. He leans forward, looking into the alley, and then looks back at M. Points at the alley for a sec, but just waves it off. God damn it. All right. Out here fucking chasing shadows and shit. God damn it.
Hey, at least I got a look at the face, and now we know where we're looking. Plus, seems like he knew the area pretty well. So we just need to find someone else who knows the area pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. If you know someone, I got what I needed. You don't mind company?
No. I'll be good. Yeah, I'll help you out. You're new to the coterie, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, if you want to be friends, I'll totally help you.
Friends? Benji just raises an eyebrow.
It's what I call my coterie friends.
All right, homie.
Mhm.
Yep.
And she just skips past him.
Friends. Benji folds his arms before following. Just relaxes, shakes it off.
Amber, you intended to have a conversation with Emmanuel.
Yes, I did.
What do you intend to pull from him?
Oh, I'm going as much as I possibly can. And it's gonna start with this. So she's got after she's like, we're gonna have a little chat, okay? Her voice seems soft, pleasant. There's no obvious malice.
You touch his skin, and it's warm. That warmth that's all humans have. It's you're kind of noticing that your own fingers are kind of cold comparatively. It's really kind of sad, really.
It's what I get for not wearing gloves.
So how do you intend to speak to this man?
Here is what's going to happen. Emmanuel, was it? Yes, Emmanuel. I'm going to ask you some questions. You going to give me some answers. And if you do give me the answers I want, I might be able to convince Big B to let you go.
That's Big B's his name, huh? You roll with him?
I do.
Pretty girl like you?
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing getting mixed up on all this shit?
Ah, this it's not really my cup of tea, no. I'm not in it for what it is that he's doing, per se. I'm in it for him.
You sweet on him or something?
Sweet's a strong term. But he has certain endowments.
Look, I wasn't looking for the details of your sex life, lady.
Well, that's not the point of this conversation. As I said, I ask a question, you give me an answer, you give me a like, you get let go. That is the long and the short of it.
What do you want to know?
So, on the matter of this little scheme that you're running, where does it come from?
That's a big ask.
It'll just be between you and me. No one will know. And she smiles very sweetly.
I'd really like you to roll me a charisma plus persuasion.
I'm gonna awe that one. Because she's turning it on in a big way.
Okay. Then add your presence to that as well. In the future,
Yes.
when you do want to pop off, please let me know before the roll.
Okay.
And, well, before you intend to speak.
Okay. Many.
That is a critical success. That's an 8 success total. He's like putty. He doesn't want to give you the answers. But you are just too sweet. Just too nice. He really shouldn't be giving you anything. But he can't seem to take his eyes off you. And he really wants to make you happy. So he tells you that his supply is kind of a mix of pharmaceuticals and of home cooked. Deals in opiates, deals in meth, home cooked, deals in weed predominantly, because that is what most people want and what most people can get away with when they want to buy. So there's money to be made for those who want to invest.
See.
Now, I was telling Big B that I only wanted 60%, but I'd be willing to go down to 50 for you.
See. She's continuing to keep aura up at this time.
Look, I can get you whatever you want in a week's time. I really can. I wasn't lying to Big B when I said that.
Is little. Do you think you could give me some addresses to where I might find someone who could help me, now?
Right now, everybody's done cooking for the night. Everybody's
And
getting.
who is everybody? I know who everybody.
Now, if I gave everything away, I wouldn't be a shrewd businessman, now would I?
No, that is true, but at the same time, you also wouldn't be in these chains right now.
Touche.
As I said,
Touche.
you give me what I want, and I can convince Big B that you go. No harm, no foul.
He looked like he was about ready to beat my ass. You can guarantee that?
Oh, I can guarantee it.
Alright. Couple of cooking spots. Kind of. I really shouldn't be telling you this. It's gonna be my ass either way. You don't know who you're messing with. Got some really scary people up at the top. You start
But I
messing
mean,
with
the
these people.
difference is between having your arms and legs broken and having your arms and legs not broken.
Who says I'm not gonna have them broken anyway for spilling the beans?
Yeah, but it means you might have a little bit more use of.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Alright. You can get me out of these chains and let me go about my way and let me get back to my house. I'll give you what you want.
I can guarantee that as soon as he's back. He's the one who put you in here. I have to ask him to let you out. He should be back any moment now.
Carlos just kind of pipes up. I mean, he gave me the key.
He's just like, well, then you keep that key wherever you put it until such time as Benji says you can get it out.
Right.
I screwed that up very badly. Whoops. She would have said Big B, but I screwed that up.
That's fine. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
So Benji and M, are you heading back?
Yeah.
Bleh.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
At this point, I assume they arrive.
You can be there as soon as you want.
Cool.
I think M would like to kind of just look around the perimeter with the sense the unseen, just to, I don't know, make sure that everything's secure.
You look around. You're not really seeing anything that would normally be the invisible type. You see the streets. You see occasionally a person walking by. Start to get a little hungry.
Well, if there's nothing else really to worry about, then I'll go rejoin the others.
Fair enough. So Benji and M, when you walk up to Amber and Emmanuel and Carlos, you notice that that Amber kind of looks like she has Emmanuel wrapped around her pinky finger. He is staring into her steely eyes, and he is not taking his eyes off of her. She is the center of his attention, and of Carlos's, it seems. And when you both walk up, it just you kind of feel like you can't take your eyes off her either.
Benji, as he walks upstairs for a moment, has like an awkward silence before he finally like shakes himself out of it and pipes up. What's going on? What do we got?
Amber will let Emmanuel's face go and be like, 1 second. And she'll go over to Benji so that she can speak with him quietly. She's like I managed to get him to agree to hand over details, but in return, go.
You need to speak up a little bit. You can just say that you're whispering.
Yep, yeah, so she's whispering. He's like, I got him to agree to give us the details. At the very least, part of the operation, the street side part of the operation. But we'll need to let him go if we get it. So, if you would be willing to agree to, once we have the information, let him out of his chains, we will have what you came here for. Although I would note that if we are able to cover our tracks a little bit as well, that might be a good idea.
All right. Benji pulls out his phone, checks the time.
You check the time, and it's getting fairly late. Isabella's texted you back and said, if you need a favor, then come see me tomorrow. You get the sense,
Well.
and you get the when you check the timestamp on the text, it looks like she is also running fairly late on whatever that she was doing because she texted you no more than 10 minutes ago.
Shit. Well, ST,
Mm-hmm.
would we have time for one more stop for the evening?
It is getting close to sunrise.
It's like 5 a.m.
It is
almost.
almost.
And he's like,
Hmm.
Benji just puts the notifications away, shows the timestamp to Amber. I think we're gonna have to bring him home with us tonight.
Shame. All right. She'll turn and walk over to. She'll turn and walk over to Emmanuel once more, and she sighs and she goes, "It's like, I'm terribly sorry, but I'm going to need you to come with us. Promise that, as I said, no harm will come to you while you're with us. Be safe. Can you agree to that, Emmanuel?"
You know what? I gotta get back. I gotta get back. You know, I can't be out all night. You know, day job and all that.
No, neither can we, but
I'm gonna
I
have
think
to put in. Sorry, go
gonna
ahead.
have to call in. It's like I can understand that, but I think today you might need to call in a little. She smiles at him sweetly. Said still off. No, hasn't turned it off.
Oh, I'm gonna eat shit for everything tonight. Okay. Cool. Lead the way.
She smiles at him and says, "Good boy." And she'll look to Benji and uh, nod and make a sign of like, "All right, wheels up, we're rolling out of here."
And with that, the four of you make your way to your respective locations where you intend to drop off Carlos, where you intend to drop off Emmanuel, and where Amber and M may be staying the night for the day. And I think that's about where we're going to end this session for tonight.
M can stay the night at mine. That's not an issue.
Sleepover.
Yay!
Thank you guys for playing.
Thank
There you go.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Coconut
ST.
Cowboy, for the follow.
Yes.
Yes, what a fabulous name.
Yes, thank you everybody who's followed and who's been sticking with us so far tonight. Now we get to move on to some experience. Everybody gets one for showing up.
Yay!
Yeah.
And now we get to play the politics game of experience. We have three different criteria. We have who did the most for the plot, who had the best scene out of all, and who had the best one-liner. So who moved our plot?
That is a good question.
I'd have to say Benji.
Yeah.
It was technically my plot in general.
Yep.
It just makes sense, you know?
I mean, you took
Yeah.
the pilot seat. If we're unanimous, then Benji, you get that one.
Yay. Thank you.
Who had the best scene, though?
I'm gonna give it to Amber.
To Amber. What for?
I like I like Amber just like twiddling everyone around her pinky.
Oh yeah, she's got everybody wrapped around that little pinky, and she knows how to weaponize it.
Yeah, more precisely the fact that in that same essence, gave us a lead to where to go next. So,
She did have a pretty good scene with Emmanuel.
Yeah, I'll put that in. I'll put my vote in that.
Any arguments? For themselves or for other people?
I don't have any arguments. I mean, I'm kind of torn between myself and giving Urian the point for that amazing scene with Carlos chained up with what he was saying before Benji came downstairs. Like, honestly, I actually want to give it to you for that, because that was just mint.
Derek,
it's true.
where's your vote going?
I would say I would probably end up giving it to Benji, specifically for taking the reins in the scene. I just highlighted that. That's all it is. But it was Benji who was leading it, so I would probably give it to Benji at that point.
So we have a vote for Amber, we have a vote for Urian, and we have a vote for Benji.
So who didn't vote?
Muffin.
Oh, I thought I did. I thought I put it in with
Who? Sorry? It was cutting out for me.
Amber.
Amber. Okay.
Mhm.
I got 2 votes for Amber, so it is a majority for Amber.
Cool.
I will accept it graciously if you're willing to give it to me.
Consider it done.
Consider it done.
All right.
The players have spoken.
Players have spoken.
And who had the best one-liner?
M calling everyone friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just so excited.
M's and I mean, I'd give it for M's entrance. Her excitement when she saw Urian.
Yes, that's right. That
Just-
was cute.
Hi!
I'm gonna keep my comments to myself because you know what I want to say.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
I don't
Derek.
give a fuck on this fucking channel. You kidding?
For real.
Snail trail.
Snail
Ah,
trail.
yeah,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Oh my god, yes.
Okay, so we've got a vote
Look,
for
bro.
M.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely vote for it.
It kind of, it's like character-wise for Benji, it was just kind of like, what the fuck? This is the first time I've ever heard anyone call me a friend since, like, I died.
Aww. Doing things without even realizing it.
Being nice.
You're making me feel things.
Making the characters have the feels.
Evil laughter.
Derek, who do you think? One-liner that stuck out to you.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna have to hand that one to Urian,
Yeah?
Yeah.
and then I will have you eat your daughter.
Yeah.
That's
Oh yeah,
dark.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
so good.
So good, but so dark. We love
I
it.
was like, what a way to come back into this. Heck.
Real for real.
See, I would give it to Urian too, but not for that line.
Which line?
When he's like it's like, and you'll it was something along the lines of, and you'll take fucking responsibility for.
Ah,
Basically-
yes.
Basically,
yeah.
talking about the fact that
Yeah.
everything that happened to him was of his own consequences and nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm,
I live for
mhm.
it. I live for it.
That line said shudders down my time.
That's kind of
Yeah,
what we're
that
looking
was-
for in one-liners. Either something quirky or something that's just, gold.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. I'm tied.
So,
You tied?
I'm tied
Yeah,
between the two.
yeah, I'm gonna go with Urian on this one.
Okay, we got 2 votes for Urian so far.
Well, I think I'll vote for myself.
All right.
Oh God.
So is it 2v2? Are we
ST.
gonna have a roll off?
Yeah, do the roll off.
Seems like we're gonna have a roll off.
All four of you,
Hi.
high or low,
Hi.
have to agree.
Hi.
Low.
Low.
Have to agree.
We have to
Alright,
be
we'll
on the
go-
same page. We
Oh,
have
we
to
have to
choose
be?
high or-
Yep.
Oh,
we do?
high
Okay.
then. I'll choose high.
It's all or nothing.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll go. I reckon we'll go high.
High.
All for voting high. Everybody that was voted for. We had M and Derek. You both get an experience as a result.
What?
Well, I
You
mean, you guys
Lucky
get experience.
bastards. Because it was either that or nobody gets one for that one.
Yee.
So yeah.
Rad.
How do y'all like the story so far?
I
Oh,
enjoy.
I'm liking it a lot.
I'm having so much fun with everybody and the characters. I'm so happy.
Such good synergy, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love all of you.
I love everyone's
I'm
characters.
I'm just glad that I'm able to entertain.
Yes. You all do well at doing so. Thank you so much for entertaining me as your ST. I hope I do the same for you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, very much so.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Aye, aye, Captain. But yeah, that does it for tonight.
Are we talking Captain Spaulding?
I mean, I don't know the character 100%. I've heard the name before.
What's the matter, kid? You don't like clowns? Don't we make you laugh? Aren't we fucking funny?
Fucking hate clowns.
Yeah.
I mean, not to a point of a phobia, but I just don't like clowns. But yeah, that does it for tonight's episode of San Antonio by Night. We will be back on Saturday night for more art. I probably will actually have a project that I'm thinking about doing, because based on what happened yesterday in the Tuesday game at Matty Morg's channel, that's a big oof. So you might get art of that, guys. So that's probably happening Saturday. But in the meantime, if you haven't yet, hit that follow button. You can always check out the VODs on YouTube. They go up straight away. And hope you all have a great night. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Oof.